All right, here we are. And most of you know this guy next to me. Can you see him? Can you see him? Can you see that perfect hair? All combed back. Is that like grease informant? What do you use?
It is. It's axle grease and the little rear.
It's always perfect.
Gear
Joe.
lube.
Very jealous of you.
Thank you very much.
Here we are. It is Q&A with Caps, Bristol Dragway version, and on top of that we have New England Nats that we're making up for this weekend as well. And I could not be short week for all of us, but Joe actually picked where we're at today via a lot of locals. You know, we always like to just BS and talk and catch up and get to know our guests a little bit more. And then we also get to eat some of the best barbecue food across the country. I got to tell you right now, down this area that you can't see quite yet, this place is called Bristol Gardens and Grill. It's about 18 minutes from the racetrack, because I'm staying there. It's right near downtown Bristol, Virginia. Yes?
Yes.
And Tennessee.
Yes. There's a line that goes right through them.
And this place is unbelievable. It's very small, very quaint, not a lot of parking, so you got to get here fast. But I'm telling you, if you pick this race and you want to come here, or if you're going to drive here for whatever reason, do not miss coming here. I was a little leery of you picking, by the way.
Why?
Because you're a Florida guy. I was like,
what, like I don't know good barbecue?
Florida?
Yeah. We have barbecue. We have people from everywhere that come there and start their wonderful businesses.
Yeah, just
Tom Jenkins, Fort Lauderdale, represent.
Name dropper. But, all right, so.
There's a long wind-up, Ron. There's food in front of us, and the wind-up, we're dying.
And we are fighting right now. Okay, we're both fighting. You know when people, they have a hamburger and they got fries, and you want to reach out and grab a fry whenever somebody's near you. They got these little bites. Nope.
You got to.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're both fighting the urge to grab this. This is going to be unbelievable. You can smell them. You can almost taste them, and we'll dig in a second. So, once again, we're going to eat some barbecue, and we're just going to talk. I know you fans want to get to know WFO Joe. And there's kids in this area, so I got to be careful. Wide freaking open.
Yeah. Wide fast open for the kids, or if we're talking really young kids, it could be wet furry otters. I mean, whatever you got to say.
You got to laugh from the kids there.
The kids love wet furry otters.
All right.
Whatever it takes to get through the moment.
Okay. So before I pop the first question, can we just grab one of these bites?
Yes, let's do it.
First of all,
it's not the same without food.
Mike, the owner.
Yes.
Matt, the owner.
Matt Shy.
Scratch the mic. It's Matt, and he gave us a tour. Right behind us, you can see the smokers, and then behind that, there's a whole thing of peppers. He grows everything here. It's an amazing place.
Get in on this.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to talk the whole time. I'll carry the load.
Hey, we're just gonna.
Right.
We don't need pork. Oh man.
Oh really?
Yeah. We don't need pork.
Okay.
Well,
is that kind of show?
Yeah.
Can I talk with my mouth full?
Yep.
Okay.
You are right now.
Got it.
All right, Joe. Oh, that is good.
Mm-hmm. And you doubted me. That's okay. It'll go in your file.
Who'd you hear about this from?
So when I got the invite to be on Q&A with Caps, I wanted to pick a great place. I know this area a little bit because I've done some work with Masters Entertainment. And so I texted my buddy Brendan, and he's like, this place. Also, Jason Logan and Jason Galvin were talking about it. And so that was it. Two sources said that this was the place, farm to table. They grow their own stuff, rustic. And so here we are. I'm anti-chain. I'm not like I won't go to a chain to eat, but I would much rather go to a place like this where the proprietor is going to take care of us. And look, we got a tour and everything.
This is why I didn't, but the people around me came up with the idea. This very reason. Small, little cool places that fans can come check out next time they come to this race, or if they've never been, they want to come next year.
I'm allowed to just go at this, right?
So this is a Cuban. He made this Cuban
sandwich. Speaking of South Florida.
Turkey. I know, right?
We'll test it.
Man, he's got all kinds of stuff in here. You guys, man, I'm telling you, you come to this race, you got to come check this out. This place is awesome. All right, so WFO Joe.
Yes.
How did you come up with that name for your radio show? Was it a show before drag racing, before you got involved? Was it
yes. Well, yes and no.
NASCAR, all that too?
Drag racing fan for life.
You run a car, right? You got like a Firebird.
Got a bracket car.
Yeah.
Bracket race, Moroso Motorsports Park, Palm Beach. Did very well. But my dad brought me to the Gator Nationals in 1980. It was my first Gators. And grew up a drag racing fan. Snake and Mongoose, Scarlet's Muldowney, the whole deal.
Gwyn.
Daryl Gwynn, hometown hero, Miami Hollywood Speedway. But also a talk radio guy, right? So I worked in South Florida, and then I worked at XM on NASCAR radio. And I'm a
I
big...
didn't know that.
Yes, before the merger, which is why I have all the stock to tie it all together to something that we talked about moments ago.
Sirius XM stock.
Ed Hinton, who was a writer for the Orlando Sentinel for many years, wrote a book after Dale Earnhardt passed away called From the Birth of Speed to the Death of the Man in Black. I was a huge Earnhardt fan, loved Earnhardt. So reading the book, there was an anecdote about 1979, Earnhardt in this like smoky bar, Daytona Beach, talking about all the drivers walking around, and Earnhardt was sitting in a booth, and he talks about WFO was the term of the day. Hey, Earnhardt, how's your car running? WFO. And so I was reading that on the air. And then all of a sudden the listeners started to call. WFO, hey, WFO, 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 boom, packed, like it came back immediately. WFO Radio, WFO Joe, just like that. And it's, because there are people who are more WFO than me. I'm under control, but it has stuck. And here we are.
I like it. All right, our crack staff has some good questions.
Oh, boy.
And we're not going to start with the question you thought I was going to ask you.
I don't know why Reinhardt wasn't in Chicago.
You said not to ask you that. That was on your specific list.
I wanted to save it for myself.
That's funny. All right, let's see. I love when I get these questions.
Here we go.
Our publicist, Allie, sent these this morning, and I love... First of all, I got to ask one that's not on here, but we always ask. If you could be an animal, what would you be? Any animal.
Tiger or eagle?
Not or, just one animal.
Tiger.
A tiger. That's kind of...
What, generic?
Easy.
Easy?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be a tiger? Exactly, because they're awesome. Big cats. Come on. What's cooler? Or a house cat.
All right.
I guess they got their
You
life
got
a
cats?
little easier. Right now I do, yes. I have 5 of them.
Okay, I'm going to do some would you rather.
Mama cat came to my house, gave birth. I'm not like a cat hoarder, but I am providing a home for her to raise her kittens.
We're painting a little different picture of WFO Joe right now.
Cat guy. They used to call me... Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, really?
Go ahead.
All right, would you rather?
Smoked Mac. Incredible.
Okay, I'm going to go there. Would you rather interview a crew chief who just lost in the finals due to smoking the tires, or interview a driver who just lost the finals on a hole shot? Which would you rather?
The driver.
Those are both bad situations.
Yeah, the driver. But I feel like in most cases, if push came to shove, I could take the drivers, whereas the crew chiefs, they'd probably whoop me.
The driver's a little more polished.
Well, no, I mean in a physical altercation, like crew chief will pop you. Those guys are old school.
Yeah.
Whereas the drivers, you're right. They're gonna do anything to make their sponsors look bad.
It's a good
So I'll
point.
get out of it alive.
All right.
But it's both devastating. You know that. It's the
Yes,
worst.
It is the worst.
But those are the interviews that people want to hear. And that's what hopefully drivers and crew chiefs understand, is that you have the best chance to make a new fan in your worst moment. Because that's where people are like, how's this person going to deal with this really terrible situation? And when the drivers like walk away and refuse to talk, they're missing a huge opportunity, in my opinion.
Okay, during that answer, I came up with a question.
Oh, great.
Kind of based off that, as you were talking. How cringy do you get, or let me put it another way. How more cringy do you get either interviewing Jim Dunn on the starting line, afraid he's going to say a cuss word, or Jimmo? Because Jimmo always seems to throw the not super big cuss words out, but he's always going to throw something in there.
So just last week,
I know. It was in
Big
my
Jim
car. It was
Dunn.
the next car, and I heard the crowd laugh.
pray, cross your fingers, bullshit. That's what he said. Hopefully that's
really?
okay. This is, yeah. And I
That was
don't really,
Jim Dunn.
Jim Dunn.
Yeah.
And I really don't get it, but it doesn't matter. People love to hear bad words. They love to hear
And then
them.
Galvin or somebody said, Joe, can you repeat what he said?
Yeah.
You didn't want to
I'm
go
not
there.
saying that. No way. I would be fired immediately.
All I heard was the crowd laughing because I'm in my car with my helmet on. And I couldn't hear the interview, but I heard everybody laugh.
Well, he went down the track. Nobody else did.
Yeah.
Jimmo, Jono, these guys that are just genuine.
Yeah.
I love them. That's how an interview should be. This is awesome, amazing stuff. You want real. That's what people want. They want real. And every once in a while, you know, one of those words is maybe one of the words
I think
that you
they do it on purpose just to make you cringe.
Yeah. I don't cringe. I'm not a cringer.
All right. aside from me, which driver in Top Fuel or Funny Car that hasn't yet won
Oh boy.
this year do you feel is most overdue? Top Fuel or Funny Car?
Top Fuel or Funny Car?
It's a good question, Allie.
It's a really good question, Allie. It's like a serious drag racing question. I was
Yeah.
not informed that this would be happening.
Well, we got a few
Yeah.
hard-hitting.
All right, well,
questions.
let me eat and ponder. Why don't you eat something?
Okay.
While,
All right,
I'll get some more
so
of
this
these
Cuban
bites.
sandwich, I'm going to move into the
Get in
smoked,
on the Cuban sandwich while I
the
ponder the
smoked
question.
mac and cheese. Man, this is...
Well, I mean, Brittany Force hasn't won anything
Didn't
this
won
year.
yet?
No.
Oh,
She's a world champ. This is her championship title defense.
right. Okay.
We're what, 7 races in?
Is that your pick?
Yeah, I'll say that. Most overdue. Most overdue. The reigning champ. Most overdue. Or you said, in spite, without saying you.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of,
She threw that in
you've
there,
been
yeah.
close though. A couple finals.
Who would your ultimate dream WFO guest that you haven't had yet on your show be?
Drag racing related or
Anyway.
the whole world?
Well, drag racing.
Drag racing.
Drag racing.
Drag racing.
Uh-huh.
Wow, I've had just about everybody that I really want to. I've yet to have.
Connie?
I'd love to talk with Connie.
Yeah.
Probably not on WFO
Why?
because of the technical side. Those older guys, like through the technology.
Have you ever been on a Zoom call with Connie Collette on?
No, but I'm sure it's really difficult. But Jim
He
had.
doesn't know what a mute button is, so you hear everything going on in his world, and it's pretty awesome.
I would love to do like a face-to-face,
Uh-huh.
and ask some, just like what my style is, which is
Can
to
you
try
hear
to get
Joe
personal.
over my chewing right now?
Yeah, they keep chewing.
No, can you hear my chewing?
How's the Cuban?
But
How's the Cuban?
this is really good.
I'm gonna get one of these tacos.
Yeah.
So Matt gave us this great tour. He made all of this. We said whatever you want, and he just brought out. We got Cuban, we got tacos. Not really a barbecue place, but
All right, next question.
pulled pork. Jim Head says he's gonna come on.
That would
Wilk
be good.
says,
Will does a lot of dodging in interviews, you know that?
yeah, but he said some good stuff the other week. He
He's
was
a
on the
busy
show a
guy,
few
though.
weeks ago.
All right. These hard-hitting questions. How do you prepare for calling races when in the booth? I don't understand the question, Allie.
Neither do I.
A lot of prep ahead of time, or
No
do you
prep.
just wing
That's
it?
the
You
answer.
just wing it.
No.
Oh, wait, I got the question.
Okay.
Do you have your own microphone?
I do not. You only get your own microphone when you ascend to the highest levels. It's like the Bruce Lee movie where he gets to the top of the pagoda and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is there.
Yeah.
That's when you get your own microphone, and I'm not there yet.
Now, does the person?
Did he tell you it was golden?
Yeah.
Actually, he did not share that it's actual gold.
Does
A
it
golden
come? Does it
microphone.
come in like in a little box, like a little briefcase, little
A
microphone?
mahogany box. It's polished mahogany. And the thing that's crazy about it, and we're referencing a previous episode, which is the episode I happened to watch to prepare
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
And but he has a valet that opens the box for him.
Does he?
That is, yeah, he doesn't get his own microphone. He opens the box and then it presents the microphone.
When I was a rookie in Top Fuel,
On a pillow.
I would go in the booth, and Dave McClellan,
Oh man.
like we wouldn't
Icon.
qualify or I'd lose early, and I was a rookie. And when he would ask me a question, I'd answer, and then his hand on my arm meant I better shut up. It's time for him to talk again.
Really?
But he had his own microphone.
Like in winning time, you get the shut it down.
You know, you're out there as a fan, and you hear whoever's doing Sportsman, right, all day long, and then all of a sudden, boom, the level goes up. It's like the opening band and then AC/DC coming out. Like all of a sudden, it's kabam.
Thank you for uncovering that.
so
we have suspected for many years. What's going on with this?
Mhm.
This is like, and now we know, thanks to the great reporting of Q&A with Ron Capps.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, now we can buy our own microphones too, I guess. So we're going to do that. Mine's not going to be gold though.
So, West Palm Beach. I know you've been fighting real hard for that. Is it done?
Dead.
Done. Okay.
But I just received, get this. So for those that don't know, Moroso Motorsports Park, West Palm Beach, Florida, PBIR, it's done. But we went, we showed up, we participated in local government, and because we made a big stink about it and showcased to the mayor, the vice mayor, and others that there was a community of drag racers there, they said, we've got a 128-acre parcel of land. that was slotted to become an ATV park. Maybe we can make it a racetrack. And so, well, that's cool.
Wow.
I just got an invite moments ago. Save the date. Town hall meeting for potential new racetrack in Palm Beach County, Wednesday, June 21st, 6:30 p.m. at so-and-so Civic Center. And it's the land that they talked about. So the next step.
You're going to go?
If it's a Wednesday, yes, absolutely.
It's not a Zoom, it's a live.
Live and in person. And you sent a letter, which was great.
Thanks to Allie.
Yes,
Yeah.
sent a letter, which was read into the
Was it really?
and yes, it absolutely was. As was Glenn Cromwell's letter. I read a letter, and they responded. So what I would say to everybody is,
Do you think Glenn wrote his own letter?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
Definitely, because Glenn, of course,
Yeah.
ding.
He's got secretaries and stuff.
Probably.
I didn't write
I
mine.
believe they're called receptionists nowadays, Ron. But in the end, you didn't write yours?
No, I wrote it.
That was good.
I had somebody fix it for me, though.
Ron also has secretaries.
Bottom line is it worked. Okay. If nothing else, they now understand that drag racing and motorsports is a vital part of their community, not just a thing. It's connected to the businesses. It's connected to personal safety, safety of random people, an outlet for kids who want to do something mechanically with their hands. The local community showed up in force, did such a great job. I'm proud of everybody. And most importantly, for everybody for whatever the issue, be willing to get involved with your local government. Like, go be involved. It's like, oh, that's not for me. You know, I'm not connected.
Everybody wants
Trust us.
to, but nobody does it like you. I mean,
Well-
that was pretty cool. You did all that. We all thought, honestly, most people thought it was all dead and done.
Well,
And you were still in there fighting.
It turned out
So,
it was, but that's the thing. Just because they tell you it's over doesn't mean you just accept that. That's what
Imagine
a
if
fight
this
is.
track gets built. Imagine after all that, this track gets built on that parcel land. How
Wow.
proud are you going to be?
I'm super proud.
Yeah,
I'm already
you
proud.
should be.
You got to fight the fight, no matter
Yeah.
what you think the result is going to be. You go to the starting line, you've smoked the tires, and whoever you're racing, Matt Hagan, has gone down the track 380s every time. Do you think, I'm not going to win, we might not pull the car up there? No, you go anyway. And if you take your whooping, oh well. But you go anyway. You fight the fight.
Agreed.
And that's what everybody in Palm Beach did. A lot of people told us not to bother.
Yeah.
Oh, those big money people, they're
That's what I
never
mean.
going to.
Yeah, even on the internet, it was all done.
Yep.
All right, what is your favorite track on the NHRA Tour?
Wow.
And I hate this question because I always get a text or something from somebody at another track that says, "Oh, really? We're not your favorite?" Or,
So the good news is they don't care what I think. They only care
There
what
you
you
go.
think.
Well-
Vegas, baby. I've evolved over the years. Yeah, I've evolved over the years. Like Bandamere, right? Losing that one, like, oh my gosh, nightmare. Love Bandamere. I love that setting. I love the fans. Pomona is just awesome. I
you're
love
going to
it.
go down the whole list, aren't you?
No.
Oh.
Gainesville, my home track. Love Gainesville, but there's no internet access, which is terrible. Vegas, where else can you get everything? Like, our sport is about excessive power, excessive everything. And as soon as the day is done, right? Like when I'm coming down, like, oh man, that was awesome. What do I get? I get Vegas. I can go have a great meal. I can go see it. I can do everything. I love Vegas.
Okay, if you could pick one track that you've been to,
Yep.
doesn't matter if it's sanctioned by NHRA or not, one track that they could add to the schedule right now, what track would that be?
I don't know the answers because what is there? What would you answer?
Yeah.
People are saying Tulsa, Boise. I don't
Yeah.
know those tracks.
Boise, I don't think it's big enough to hold a national event.
I don't know that. Well, we were just at New England.
Yeah.
Those people, that's a small track.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah.
So I don't know the answer to that question.
You're throwing it back at me? Is that what you're doing?
Well, if you got someplace you want to recommend,
I asked you the question. First of all.
the answer is I don't know. Because all the tracks, the only reason I've been to all these tracks is because of the NHRA.
You're going to run for mayor, aren't you? You
I
keep
thought-
getting around all these questions.
Should I go into politics
I ask you one thing and you give me 8 answers.
in conflict with each other?
I don't know what this is, but this is really good. Everything is awesome.
Yeah, I'm liking it too. So we got this sandwich right here, but you want to cut it? You want to just
Yeah.
scrape some off? Or I'm going to send it your way
Whatever you want to do.
first.
Bristol Gardens and Grill,
Take
Bristol,
that.
Virginia.
Take some of it.
Okay.
No,
Joe, I was right in the middle of closing
a
out our
plug.
show.
Listen,
Yeah.
these priorities, things are
Oh,
important.
yeah, you got WFO Joe. WFO Radio
Yep. Podcast.
podcast.
Live
Get on the
stream.
airplane,
YouTube
listen
channel.
to it.
You've been a listener for a long time.
Yeah, I have.
Great supporter, Ron Capps is.
I even get on a listen sometimes.
Even back when there were no listeners,
Try
Ron
to
was coming on the show.
Come on, stealth.
After the XM days.
Yep.
See, the XM thing died. Facebook was just barely popping. iPhones were like, this is 2009. And I said to myself, I'm not working for anyone again that can just fire me, no matter how well I'm doing. Yeah, you're fired. Yeah, but I'm doing really well. It doesn't matter. You're fired. So I started the podcast.
So it's in a bedroom that you made into a studio?
XM made it into a studio.
In your house?
In my house.
Wow.
I worked in Washington, D.C. for 2 years. And then I told them, it's like, look, I have a house in South Florida that's 2 blocks away from my parents in Paradise. And I'm up here paying rent.
So you got that killer cable they set up, whatever
At the time, which is totally unnecessary. An ISDN. Yeah, I have an ISDN unit. You want to buy it? It cost me $6,000, but now it's worth like $80.
You guys used to sound so good on that.
ISDN was great. But after I got blown out, it was like, what are my assets? Well, I've got this studio, and I've got me, and people seem to like what I have to say sometimes. And so if I just start doing a show, eventually I'll build an audience, and that audience will stay with me, and good things will happen. And maybe it'll take 10 years or it'll take 15 years, but I'll just keep doing my show. And I started out with, it wasn't like I could go on Twitter and say, hey, everybody, like Adam Carolla, who had a morning show in LA. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm going to start a podcast. And so he had an audience with, 50,000 people immediately. Yeah. I didn't have that. I had to grow them one at a freaking time. It was really, it still is really hard because you need these pops. And so when you would come on and Tony Schumacher came on all the time, how many listeners were there? I hate to tell you this, but maybe it was 30, maybe it was 50, maybe it was
shocked
100.
When NHRA actually finally plugged it, like put it up on NHRA.com at one point or talked about it or let you talk about it, which they used to not really let people do that on the side. You don't have to answer that.
Well, I know. I really enjoyed when Bob Fry asked me to, like, would you be interested? He's going to retire. Would you be interested in doing this? I never saw myself as a track announcer. I'm a talk radio guy. You were talking about Stern before. That was my road. Right. That's what I like to do. That's what I wanted to do. And Drag Race, independent of that. The track announcer thing, Bob was like, I'm going to retire. You can talk, the drivers, you can string words together. You should try it. I was like, okay. And that opportunity happened. The last thing I was going to do was shamelessly shill my own thing and get blown out for it. Yeah. That's disrespectful to them. Yeah. But at the same time, I know that all those people are potential listeners. Yeah.
Or they already listen and then they come to an NH race because they listen to your show.
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. I got diehards right now. But the good news is I don't have to promote. I've got people like Mike English was the first who did a great job. Yeah. WFO Joe, listen to WFO Radio. He would always say it. And every once in a while, I would try to get like one plug a weekend at just the right moment when nothing else was going on. Like, I'm going to get in on it. And, even still, like I don't want to over promote my own stuff.
What's your favorite?
Like these fire T-shirts that are available on WFORadio.com. Fire!
What's your favorite here so far? You got one?
No.
It's
all great.
Bites?
The bites are great. I haven't gotten there yet. The Cuban sandwich was really good.
That's got a kick to it.
Okay.
So you guys
you know what? That. We're messing up. Caps, we're blowing it. Oh. Let's open these hot sauces.
You can open them.
No. Yeah, you can't take it, huh?
I got to put a fire suit on them all. I'll be running to the bathroom.
Oh, is that what it is? It runs right through you?
Oh, it would. Good.
Not necessarily. This is good quality stuff. All right. Now I'm in business. Are you going to try anything?
No.
All right.
This is good enough.
This. Good enough. What kind of word is that? Nothing is ever good enough.
So how fast you been in your bracket car?
I have had 2. My personal low ET and speed came in a super comp style dragster. 168. I wanted a 7-second ET slip. This isn't like 1999. I had to have a 7-second ET slip. It was very important to me. And a friend at the radio station who actually got me the job, Chief Engineer George Corso, he was getting out of drag racing and into sports car racing. Seat time. He wanted seat time.
You have the dragster?
Yeah, he sold me a dragster for
get to the story.
$11,000 on $798.
Okay. We're running out of tape.
168 miles an hour.
Really? That's your fastest.
168.
Have you ever sat in a funny car and warmed it up?
Not warmed it up. I sat in an alcohol funny car once. Doug Gordon put the body down on me, and I was like, but never warmed up a funny car. Yeah, 168. Why are you offering?
We'll do that. Yeah. Would you want to do it?
Would I want to do it? What kind of question is that? Of course.
Some people say yeah, and then they don't.
Lock it in. Yes, of course. Why is it scary? I mean, it's not scary. You're going to be
for you. It's going to be scary.
It is scary. People don't realize that. Like courage is a big part of the sport that I don't think we talk about enough, and I know why, because it's like pointing out that, hey, it's dangerous, but how do you do that? Get in there.
We're going to put a camera on your forehead,
Okay.
like literally.
Yep.
And we're going to have you do a warm-up in the car at some point in the season.
I love it. That's awesome. This has definitely been great.
All right, so we're going to wrap up here. Can't thank you enough.
Do I have to stop eating?
Nope.
I just
This
had
is
the
you-
hot sauce, just so you know.
The fun part is now when we shut it off, it's going to...
Oh, really? It gets better? Okay.
Yeah, well, you're going to get to eat all that.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, we're going to start the Bristol, what do we call it? Thunder Valley Gnats? Thunder Valley Gnats.
Thunder Valley Gnats with the New England Gnats.
So by the time
as
you
well.
see this, we've already run the race. So potentially, I could have 2 Wallies right now when you're watching this, or none. We don't know. Somebody could have 2. Somebody could have 2 and a Too Fast, Too Tasty check and points.
Is awesome. Like, why wouldn't people come from miles around
Yeah.
to see this bonus
It's
race?
going to be a great...
We got a good crowd here, by the way. They're not making a lot of noise, but that's what happens when Joe comes on.
Yep.
Audience. We got a live audience.
I think he's taking over my show.
No, I like being a guest. It's my favorite thing.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Ron,
it.
for the invite. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you
We're
very
going to
much.
work on getting you a microphone, too.
Golden.
I think you've got... I wouldn't go gold.
Platinum?
We're going to go black gold.
Ah, there you
Yeah.
go. Like black
Rolling
chrome.
it all just stealthy looking. Show them.
I like where your head's at, Ron.
Yeah, I do
You
too.
know, this guy was a driver. He becomes a team owner, and now he's got all these big ideas.
I do got some.
Love it.
Good
Thank you.
ideas. Yeah, you're welcome. There you have it. Q&A with Caps. Another great one. Again, we're here in Bristol, and next year, not sure when the race will be, but make sure you come in early. If you haven't been to this race, this is one you would want to pick. I get asked all the time, if I fly into a race, what would you recommend I go to? And this is by far one of the top 3 we always tell people. So that's it.
Definitely. Bristol is awesome.
Joe Castello, Q&A with Caps. We'll see you next in Ohio.